Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
You're a really dull class.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring.
Biden crime family.
You're getting nervous, man.
How dare you?
And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
You're wrong.
Puerto Rico. I will never apologize for standing up for an LBT. I intend to resign as party leader. LGBTQ2 plus kids' rights.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
As prime minister. The level of admiration I actually have for China.
Oh, son of a...
But he called her a third-rate politician. He said there are communists involved and you guys might like that.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Shut up, silly woman. America will never be a socialist country.
I'm in trouble.
America was founded on liberty and independence and not government coercion, domination, and control.
To collapse the liberal international order. He is the smartest man I know. You know the thing.
It's the Donald! Oh my God!
No, but it's not about, I know.
Everybody's always blaming me for everything.
Called the wrap-up smear.
It's estimated that 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk.
Please clap.
Wait, clapping and doing a thumbs up is really hard and it hurts my knuckles. Thanks, Corn Boy. Ow! God, I'm suing you. I'll settle out of court for a $1.99 super sticker of a thumbs up. Shout out, Corn Boy. You see how easily I won that lawsuit? He just caved. Immediately caved. Don't mess with me. ABF. How you doing, buddy? Feeling under attack or?
Maybe a little bit of attacking online, but that's mostly been diffused with logic and 7 hours of typing. No big deal.
7 hours of typing, you say? I'll need to hear more about that off air, where we talk about gamer words. Speaking of, Isaac, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, good. Happy to be
big
here.
Gamer
It's been
word.
a pretty productive week. We have a lot to talk about. I just based off the thumbnail alone, there's a couple characters there, big stories. So, man, let's get into it.
I didn't know what idiot Democrat to put in the thumbnail. I found a couple. Magnum, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm very happy to. I ordered my keyboard, came in the mail today, and set it up, and I'm just very excited to get going on this at some point. But
so that flag is that MS-13 knuckle tattoo where you gotta like do the letters and stuff?
shit, I should do that. But yeah, definitely my favorite part of the room now. So.
And then our fifth member of the panel, brought to you by StreamYards. Go fuck yourself. Chat down there in the bottom right. I said, Magnum, scoot all the way to the left of your frame just so chat can be there. And he did it for you guys. Shout out, Magnum. Appreciate you.
You're covering up my flag, you bastard.
All right. Anyone got anything before we get into it? Anything tip of your mind you've been waiting to talk about? Or you guys have a lot up there because you had dementia for the last 7 years and it's been covered up by the media.
I just woke up, so you're gonna have to come up with a topic.
You're the captain, man.
I didn't wear my tinfoil hat today, so
yeah. You didn't get hit by a lightning or something.
5G got me.
All right. Well, I'm literally using 5G internet. I got your back. I can make up for your tinfoil hat, ABF. All right. Well, actually, this is one I'm gonna throw in private chat. This is actually one I want to listen to. This is Elon Musk getting interviewed, and then he starts asking the interviewee questions, and she refuses to answer. Have you guys seen this yet? This one?
Oh, not yet.
Wait,
muted.
You? Oh yeah, I know.
Okay.
ABF is gonna pull it up. So you have not seen this?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
All right, the volume is a little low. So chat, if you can't hear it at all, let us know. We'll fix it. But it's a little
all
low.
the way up on my end.
All right, get you pulled up. It's beautiful. This is how you handle the fake news media. Roll the clip.
Not otherwise. And so now I'm in this absurd situation where I was born in South Africa but cannot get a license to operate in Starlink because I'm not black.
Well, it looks
Does
like
that
that's
seem
about.
right
Look,
to
it
you?
looks
Does
like
seem
that.
right to you?
Looks like that's about to change.
I just asked you a question. Please answer. Does that seem right to you?
Well, those
answer.
rules were designed to
Does that seem
bring.
right to you, yes or no?
Those rules were designed to bring about an era of more economic equality.
Oh, fuck
Right.
off, you cunt.
And it looks like
Short answer.
the government has found a way around those rules for you.
I asked you a question.
This is your issue. Everyone wants to hear from you.
I asked you a question. Yes or no?
That's how you handle journalists right
Not
there.
for me
Hell
to
yeah.
answer. I have got a question for you about your government
must
work
like
though and the
racist
amount
laws
of
then.
savings.
Why do you like racist laws?
Boom.
Why do you like
This
racist
is not
laws?
for me to answer. Come on.
It's not for me to answer. I don't have an
Dodge
opinion. I'm
the
a dumb
question.
bitch.
So you have to
That
ask a
is
question.
difficult
I
for you
answered
to
my question.
answer.
No, you answer. Not otherwise.
All right, that's it. Oh, masterclass, absolute master. Oh, I don't have to answer questions. I'm in charge of asking the fake news questions. I can't actually answer something, especially when I have to admit I'm a racist.
So this is perfect. This is exactly what you need to do. And I learned
getting
this
my MAGA hat.
myself. I learned this myself when someone asked me, or they were like, they were talking about the environment, or well, Trump's going to be bad for the environment. Like I had a friend actually say that, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And basically, my response was asking a question in response. I'm like, "What environment?" And he was like, "The environment." I'm like, are you talking about like what the fuck do you even mean when you say the environment?
Environment.
He didn't even know how to answer the question. Like he didn't have an answer, so he doesn't even like. Clearly, it means he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. You know what I mean? So if you respond with a question, like explain yourself, like what are you even talking about? Like they can't even answer.
Well, essentially, what he did and what you're attempting was stop saying buzzwords and actually explain yourself. And all they ever have is buzzwords. What are you saying, ABF?
Yeah. Just engage, kindly with these lefties. I do it often on Twitter and at work. Just keep asking a couple of questions, like simple, questions. And sometimes you can lead them to absurdity, and then you point that out, and then they're like, "What?" It's kind of fun. Just steer them around.
It's the Socratic method, like Socrates, where you just ask questions instead of like telling them what to think. You just ask them questions. Isaac, did you have something you want to say?
No, I agree with that method, and ABF's right. Whether it's you're dealing with people in real life or people online too, you just walk them, guide them. You don't have to push them. You just nudge them carefully. Over time, over the chain of sometimes dozens, if not hundreds of questions, you can eventually get to the destination at some point.
Yeah. So here's an example. So like the Russia hoax or whatever, you just say, "Hey, so what makes you think that this is a thing?" And they go, "Okay, well, back in blah blah blah, CNN said this," and I'm like, "So why do you trust CNN and who said it on CNN?" You know what I mean? Like you just get to the bottom of it, and they don't fucking have a clue usually. So
yeah, and even just like little questions in between, like, "Oh, well, doesn't that lead to this?" Things like that.
Yeah, like if they lied to you then, do you think they're lying to you now? And they're
that's a big thing, is getting them to realize they've been suckered. But the problem is if you are telling them they've been suckered, it doesn't go well. It shuts them down. That's why you ask them questions. People don't like feeling like they're being lectured to. They don't want you. They hate when people are like smarter than them because it makes them feel stupid.
Yes.
Yeah, you're throwing a fastball with that one. You have to just underhand throw some stuff.
Yeah, this is one of my best friends.
They're not even wearing a glove at the moment.
This is one of my best friends I had to do this to, and so I was not trying to insult him because he's a friend of mine, like a close friend. So I wasn't, trying to rip his head off. I was just like asking him questions like, "What environment are you talking about?"
The environment.
Yeah,
well,
obviously.
You don't talk at people. You talk to people. You have a conversation, person to person. You're not their educator. You're not their professor.
Yeah, believe it or not, I don't actually swear at every person I talk to throughout the day. So.
Hey, you went like 8 minutes before you said cunt. So
I can't hear that shit without saying that. I mean, come on, like this woman is just insufferable.
Yeah, you got to think, and that's why I always talk about how like the Jasmine Crockett's, the AOCs and whatnot, the Mercantes are perfect spokesmen for our side, because instead of you having to tell people what's really going on or have an election, you just say, hey, look at the alternative. You can either listen to me or you can listen to this. And they go, I don't like that. And if you can at least get them away and like realizing the whole mainstream like ideology zeitgeist, the like woke mind virus, you just got to get them to realize, oh, that's bad. And then just that alone, then they're like, you know, maybe I shouldn't listen to mainstream media. Oh yeah, they did lie about that one thing that I actually care about. I don't know about any other stuff. I don't care, but that one thing I actually care about, I know they lied about that. So maybe I'll start looking at some other websites, or like I see something and I'm like, I don't know if I believe that. Let me look it up. I'm on Twitter more. Maybe I'll look it up on Twitter instead of Google.
Ask yourself a question when people are talking to you. What are their motivations when they're telling you?
Yeah, no, you're right. You can establish a baseline, and then once you have a baseline, then you can start asking questions. And when they stray from that baseline, you're like, well, what about, you know?
Yeah.
Well, one example I'd like to give is I've noticed this with a lot of liberals, even. A lot of people will agree on one universal issue when it comes to media. Pharmaceutical companies should not be advertising on television. You just break the ice right there. And then you break the ice if so many people agree on that, you know.
Middle ground. My middle ground is we all hate Hillary Clinton. So they all hate her because like Bernie bros and whatnot. And we hate her because she's the spawn of Satan.
She smells like sulfur.
Right. Flies die when they land on her shoulder. So.
Yeah, she's a demon from hell.
Speaking of demons from hell, Maximus, good to see ya for 99 cents. You son.
Whose feet is that again? Is that
he just threw a flashbang in.
I believe
it's Brie Larson.
Brie Larson. Dan, did she kick a fucking tree trunk or something?
And so here is the secret. When you're asking the questions and you're going, they are going to default to, you know, buzzwords. They're going to just like lock down and NPC and whatnot. You're usually not going to convince them. The thing is later in their own life, when they don't have you pressuring them, making them feel stupid with your smart words, all saying your big words at me. You can't trust anything on the internet. It's later when they're on their own. They question. Instead of you asking them the questions, they ask themselves the questions, and they want to let me double check that. So it's not even about convincing them. It's about getting them to start questioning. And it's that for normies, realizing you've been lied to by the mainstream media, it breaks so many of them. It's the best way to wake them up.
And you have to reach the people in the middle, because the people that have already made up their mind, you're kind of not going to get them. Because, for example, I was just watching a video of Sargon Avocado was talking about a Tim Pool interaction where this smug liberal was just sitting there acknowledging the truth. He even nodded his head and said, "Didn't you say this or that or whatever?" And then 5 minutes later, he just said, "Well, I don't care about the truth," basically. So he's like, crazy. He just said that on TV. So he's hanging himself in public, but the radicals out there just don't care if it's true or not.
If someone says they don't believe in the truth, then that's not someone you should be listening to.
No,
it defeats everything right there.
It's crazy. You're insane.
They would rather have a comfortable lie than an uncomfortable truth.
Yeah, isn't that like a sociopathic behavior, or like, it's one of the dark triad for sure. Like, not good.
All right, I got 2 more episodes of Doom Dark Ages, so we're going, or two more levels of Doom Dark Ages, so we got to move on to Moody's downgrading us. To be fair, when you're $37 trillion in debt or wherever we are currently, we probably should have been downgraded a while ago. However, we are also the world's reserve currency, so how then shouldn't everyone else be downgraded too at this? But not Moody's out here playing games. Our Federal Reserve won't lower interest rates. European Central Bank, they be doing their thing. But it seems like U.S. big financial people keep attacking. And this Moody's downgrade, if you follow any finance people, like that's a big deal. It probably should have happened a while ago, but the timing stinks on this.
Oh no, this is all coordinated. They're planning on. So they knew the stock market needed a correction, and they weren't going to allow it to correct until Trump gets in office. And they need to get rid of. Is Powell still in there? Yeah,
he's got a bit longer. Yeah,
they got to get rid of that fucker, man.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Yeah, he's got like his term. He's going to stay for his term, and then what? Trump gets to nominate the next person. I forget how it works.
Hopefully,
not sure.
I don't
forget.
know.
Well, that's like the only part of the government. Like, yeah, the government gets to pick the chairman, and then it's all run by the private bankers. All right, so that's big, and that was my concern. That's why I'm like, I don't know if we want Trump in now, because this is going to be the timing to crash everything. Are we ready? Will we be able to survive the crash and all their propaganda of blaming it on him?
It has to, honestly, we have to go through this rough patch to. I mean, it has to happen. If we don't do it, it's just going to burst harder than ever. And if you don't go through these periods, then it's going to burst. You know, you're not going to be able to survive the type of crash. You know, if we don't do it now or soon. You know, like. I hate to wish upon a fucking stock market correction, but
we already kind of went through a pretty decent crash in the last couple of weeks, and it's already corrected itself. So, and I think that it corrected itself because of positive outlook on companies investing, in the U.S. and things like that. So, I kind of think we already got through that, but this downgrade might affect it a little.
You're right.
Things are still overpriced, though.
It more affects the bond market.
Yeah.
So they tried it in stocks and it didn't work like they wanted to. So now it seems like maybe they're trying it in the bond market or bond. And then if that doesn't work, the next thing is, oh no, we had a bank failure. Oh no, this could be systemic, guys. You should all get your money out of the U.S. But the timing is crazy because they should have done this a long time ago. And now when Trump has got his successful tariffs to get all these trade deals, we got billions of dollars coming back into America. We're actually getting some manufacturing back here and whatnot. That's the time you downgrade?
Well, they're claiming that he's causing all the chaos, and he's not to blame in some cases, but they are creating chaos on purpose. You know what I mean? They're trying to make his presidency. They're trying to make his
what
presidency
Trump
all
is
fucked up.
doing is causing chaos, but it's causing good chaos.
Yeah,
it's causing
the kind we
people to retract all of their business in other countries back to the United States, which is where they should be.
And every single morning I wake up, I go on and I see like, oh, such and such company is bringing a third more of their manufacturing back to the U.S. Like every single day I'm seeing this, and I think that's pretty great,
Yeah, like IBM decided to make a gigantic plant. It's actually like mind-boggling how much they're going to invest. I think it was like 60 billion over the next like 5 years or something like that. So,
and I can't stand it when people say, well, there's not enough skilled workers in America anymore. And it's like, well, whose fault is that?
Stop teaching the college kids gender studies, idiots.
You shipped all of the manufacturing overseas and you started, making all these Marxist courses all across the schools and PhDs and bullshit. So stop it. Just stop it.
All right. On to Dementia Joe. So we all have finally had to admit he has dementia. Biden's damning her audio tape. So we had heard it was bad. They literally refused to release it. It was so bad. And it was so bad now the Democrats are like, and at the same time, Jake Tapper's book comes out where he's all like, oh, yeah, like, I guess we didn't know. And maybe we kind of knew the whole time. And turns out he wasn't even running anything. His staff was.
What's his book cover called again? It's like how I covered up Joe Biden.
Well, did you see him? I don't know if you have the clip of him talking to Megyn Kelly about it.
I haven't
was
seen
that
it.
Jake Tapper? I believe he did.
I don't believe so, but yeah, he's the face of the Biden dementia cover up. He's going out there to be like, we're sorry. We screwed up. We just missed that he had dementia.
Right.
Whoopsies. It was just a little accidental cover up, but you can trust us now because we're being honest with you. Oh, also, he had butt cancer the whole time.
He should rename his book to "It Wasn't Me," and then him pointing at somebody else.
Yeah. So they dropped that he has cancer at the same time of these tapes to try to divert from the tapes, right?
Well, now, hold on. We have a meme for that. Now go ahead.
So now that we know about the cancer part, we realized that there was a cover up for that too. Because remember when Biden accidentally told us he had cancer a couple of years ago, and everybody was like, "Dude, he said he has cancer," and they were like, "Oh, well, they meant like non-serious skin cancer or something like that." I think he was trying to tell us he had actual cancer.
But
Yeah.
then the other angle is they might not have told him, or it actually seems like they may have just chosen not to do the test because it's like not recommended once you're older. But when you're the president, you should be getting all the tests, not just getting the recommended tests. You should be getting all the tests.
I think that I think recently the doctor, the White House doctor, is starting to like reel back some of the things that he's been saying, because I think that he has been lying.
Oh, they're going to 1,000% investigate him for sure. We'll probably be talking about that next Tuesday.
Rightfully so.
So I think that they knew that he had cancer, and I think Biden knew that he had cancer, and that's why he accidentally let it slip during that one speech.
Oh, absolutely. He's had it for years.
But he had like the skin like a melanoma thing removed, right?
Everyone that's old, that is that age, has skin cancer. They didn't have sunscreen when they were kids.
And everyone, and they are like, I'm a cancer survivor and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he constantly talks, he makes stuff up, like he embellishes everything. So I wouldn't be surprised if that actually was, because that's the new thing is, were they purposely trying to kill him off? Because that's the argument. Were they purposely covering it up so they bring it out whenever they want to replace him with Kamala? Or were they not telling him and killing his ass off?
Here's what I think. I think that the media has been trying so hard back when Biden got into office, they were just protecting him left and right, saying, no, he doesn't have dementia. Oh, that's just a gaffe. Oh, he didn't actually shit his own pants. I think that he actually was being protected so much that they just kept that going with the cancer thing, and they didn't want him to look weak.
Some of the times we thought he was pooping may have been some pain instead.
Maybe.
Now, I've seen if you rewatch the clips, you go, oh, that actually...
Damn.
Because apparently...
When you think of it retrospectively like that, that's like, damn, I didn't think of that.
I refuse to believe that he shit his pants. That was chocolate, clearly.
No, he was probably shitting his pants as well, like with the Pope and whatnot. Yeah.
Well, that was chocolate.
Some of those, when you watch
it's still funny when poop is in your pants. It's just funny.
So, sorry. No, poop is just hilarious. All right, so
did you remember Dan Vasquez said his biggest fear is shitting himself in public?
So this is from a long-serving aide to Biden. So unnamed source, a long-serving aide, apparently. I think the likely scenario, knowing Kevin O'Connor, because he talks about how there's paper trails and whatnot. So it'd be kind of hard for him to cover it up. But also, they've been covering lots of stuff up. We'll be talking about Butler and Epstein later. Is that they had a discussion on what PCA test is, and they decided not to do one because it would likely be elevated and cause a story, since a lot of older men have high PSAs that are false positives. So apparently there are actually several reasons why men over 70 don't do the test sometimes. And one of them is because false positives, it can just be enlarged prostate, because you're older and whatnot. But the thing is, he is the president.
Yeah.
So you should be doing it anyways.
He's going to have the best checkups in the world, and they're not going to get false positives. They're going to know. They have the best doctors. They have the best tests.
And you get a positive, you test it again, or you do a scan before you release what's going on. A blood test has a paper trail. They probably just didn't do the test. I think it would leak if you had a PSA test they tried to bury. So that's the current thing they are going with, of him not knowing. And I thought they were totally making it up that men over 70 didn't get a test, but apparently some legitimate medical people say no, they don't recommend it. And I was like, oh, well, I guess that's actually a thing, and that is one of the reasons they say it. But at the same time, he's the fucking president.
Well, he should be held to a higher standard.
He's an old man.
They're covering up the cover-up.
None of us want to think. We're all dreading it. Every single one of us is dreading it. And the day is coming when we got to get that test. And it's I don't believe you, men are.
I'm never doing that.
Apparently there are reasons.
Wait,
well, that's what we all say.
Biden had a prostate exam because Kamala was president during that time because he was put under.
Is 2012, I believe. I just had to pull it up a second ago. Is when he was vice.
No, during his.
Oh, he had a test or something, and it was when he was vice president.
No, he had a test while he was president, and Kamala Harris was vice president, because I remember she was technically president during that time because he was put under. So
yeah, but then also on top of that, he did have the prostate screen in 2012 or something like that. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, well, now he's over 70, so I guess we shouldn't test him.
No, I think that's all bullshit. they're using that as an excuse. It might line up in their favor and it's true or whatever, but they're using that as a shield.
They always claim ignorance.
But also at the same time, keep waiting to just like trying to let him die so they can replace him with Kamala. But also hiding it, I think, makes more sense. But also at the same time, all that White House doctor stuff, they actually would have to run a cover-up and whatnot. Which so you kind of got to go out on a limb for that theory as well. All right, so what got me was the inconceivable Biden cancer diagnosis baffles experts. And this what got a lot of people questioning it. And this was dude was on like MSNBC and he's talking about how, yeah, no, this usually takes on average like 4 years or so, which means he probably had it at the beginning of his term.
Yep.
Bare minimum.
They're
if
thinking
not
5, 6 years. 5,
yeah,
6
so
years.
they may have known during the campaign.
Donald Trump Jr. posted a quote from a doctor yesterday, and that doctor said there's no way he did not know it during his term as president. That's from Donald Trump Jr. posted that, from a doctor. So
it's highly likely he was carrying a diagnosis of prostate cancer throughout his White House tenure, and the American people were uninformed. So not only was he dementia-addled, he was cancer-riddled as well.
Yeah, and they covered all that up because he would have been seen as a weak candidate and would not have won.
And then the other question, though, is so for they actually might not have known and just not tested him theory. He was a big fan of showing himself getting the jabs, which thankfully are no longer recommended for children and pregnant women.
Yep.
Those jabs, they did this hilarious thing I'd never heard of until the jabs. It's called turbo cancer. So that is also a possibility that his old ass getting all his and boosters to push the propaganda shit. Did that give him a turbo cancer?
Accelerate it.
Possible.
A potential point towards they actually didn't know.
Yeah.
But
pure blood for life.
I mean, that's not necessarily what I think happened, but I mean, we're the media
allegedly,
so we got to act like the media. So it is important to, I think, talk about both sides. What Buck here thinks it says though is what I think is probably the case. The real plan was to hide Biden's dementia long enough to get him reelected. Then shortly after his second term starts, he steps down to the cancer diagnosis. The whole dementia issue becomes moot. Biden retires a hero. If not for Trump, they would have pulled it off too. ABF, you got thoughts that you agree with that?
Well, now they're using the opposite of that. They're using the cancer to hide the dementia part. Isn't that kind of funny how that works?
Funny, and then that is actually covering up the autopen, which is, I think, what all of this is actually about covering up, and they will be looking into that autopen, but Big Tebow has something to say first. For a $5, hell, boys, and hell, chat. I'm on EST, EDT these days, and got to work tomorrow, so I'll catch up then. Peace and love, sleep tight, Aaron. Appreciate you, Big Tebow. We got a lot coming up, so make sure you check out that VOD. Appreciate you. And if you hadn't noticed, you probably seen it in the subscription box. I don't unlist the streams anymore, so much easier to access the streams when you miss them. All right, so what I think is actually getting covered up, we got James O'Keefe with an actual bombshell. Breaking. Biden Deputy Chief of Staff confesses in undercover video that Biden was a near vegetable over the last 4 years and was never the president. He goes on to name who the real president was, and it was staffers. It was Jill Biden. It was Obama. It was the DNC. Bombshell. Staffers who wielded Biden's autopen identified. Subpoenas incoming. All right. Nice. Woke spy starts with bombshell. It's probably a do, right?
I hope this is
House Oversight Chairman James Comer.
Nice.
All right. And let's see. Oh, I think I got to get down to the bottom here. All right. He believes they've identified the staffers involved in the use of the autopen when Biden was clearly in mental decline. It questions who was actually making the decisions, many of these executive orders, as well as blah, 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 blah. Not just with the pardon issue, but many of the executive orders that the courts are now using to Trump-proof the government. Many of these executive orders, as well as the pardons, including those involving Biden's entire family, as a result of our investigation, were all signed with the autopen. And this is the Heritage people, which makes me really happy because they were obsessed with the Project 2025 from the Heritage Foundation. And if the Heritage Foundation ends up managing to get a bunch of the autopen stuff voided, that would be hilarious. Many months before the heavy use of the autopen, Biden was incoherent and unable to make decisions. He also disclosed that his committee had identified shadowy figures behind the use of Biden's autopen. I think we've identified who the staffers are. Jason, you have all done great work with that over at Heritage Oversight. Blah, 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 blah. He also disclosed the committee would summon the individuals behind the heavy wielding of Biden's autopen to give a written disposition, of which failure to comply would force the committee to issue subpoenas. We're going to bring everyone we believe was involved in any role in the use of the autopen. We're going to invite them to come in for a transcribed interview. If they decline, they'll receive a subpoena and face the full-blown deposition.
If you can't work your muscles in your right hand to sign a piece of paper, then that piece of paper you're trying to sign isn't worth it then. Like, if you're going to actually pardon someone for whatever they've been, whatever crime, it can't be by autopen. It at least needs to require some effort by a physical sign.
Yeah, and do you think people pardon themselves too? Like they told Biden, you should pardon me, and I'm going to sign for you.
Two totally different arguments, because the use of an autopen, they've been, you're out of the country or whatever, because that's you being like, all right, I want that signed, I can't be there, autopen. The problem was that's not what was happening.
No,
he didn't even know the autopen was being used, which just basic like contract law, when people are signing shit when it's not them doing it. Sorry, null and void, baby.
He didn't even know if he shit his pants or not.
What is that? What's the term called for plagiarism? Right?
It's
fraud.
Forgery.
Yeah,
forgery
and fraud.
Right. So it's totally illegitimate. What are we doing? So let's see what happens.
When this first bit of autopen talk came up, I was like, yeah, autopen, whatever. All the Q-tarts will love this stuff. They'll probably talk about it forever. Yeah, autopen, sure. And then we're here, and I'm like, bro, autopen.
Funny. Isn't it funny how you assume the worst because they're just bad people, and then it happens to be even worse than the worst? Like it's just crazy.
I know.
Well, isn't it funny how a couple of years ago we were saying, oh, the government controls the media, they influence the media, and people were like, no, that doesn't happen. Then we get Doge with USAID, and we're finding out, oh shit, the government controls the media.
I'm tired of this this narrative that the media is left leaning. It's like, no, they are the Democrat Party. They are the Democrat Party. They are not being. They're at the bare minimum. They're being paid by the Democrat Party, but in a lot of cases, they're straight from the administrations.
You could call them establishment.
All the people who ran the Russiagate scam got jobs at like MSNBC and CNN afterwards.
There's a revolving door between the government and the media and these pharma companies. It's crazy.
And I will say, we'll be talking about Comey here shortly and having to face consequences. But first, we have to talk about other FBI-related things. There's some good stuff in the interview. And then there was also like Bongino saying that there's no big explosive there for the Butler assassination attempt. It totally was a lone wolf. Dan Bongino and Trump is... Oh, wait, yeah, no, sorry. This was the assassination attempt one, and then that one, I think, was the Epstein totally did a 360 backflip off the top bunk and neck went kablooey, guys. So
Dan Bongino disagreed with Cash on that one during the interview, didn't he? He thinks that Epstein did. I thought
he's always thought that.
No, they both went along with it.
He just backpedaled like very recently.
Yeah. Oh, no way. Okay, damn.
So here's the thing. Well, this is why all the my binder people like confuse me so much, because their expectations were wildly out of control. God, like Dan Bongino and Cash Patel are the best guys we can get in here, and this is the sort of thing I expected. Like, to get full-blown revolution, we're going to need probably another 4-year like election and an actual mandate, not the slim majority we have these days. So this sort of thing is to be expected, because what do they say? I've read the files. It's like, yes, you've read the files that are the cover-up. That's what I thought was going on. Pam Bondi's going to be dealing with a lot of this stuff too, where they think they're working on all of the information. They've seen it. If there was something, as Stan Bongino, if there was something else, I'm happy to reevaluate.
So in their defense, a little bit, I don't want to defend them too much, but if they covered it up, if you were the one committing the crime, why would you write down that you committed the crime? right? So if you look at the files are not going to tell you the truth, right? Like, oh, we read the files. Well, the files are not what happened.
Is it that
right?
IBF?
Yeah. Okay.
So
I've seen the whole file. He killed himself. They both.
Yep.
they both
Yeah. See, a
did.
few days before that, he said he definitely didn't. Yeah, that's crazy.
He was hardcore. Look at the old clips of him on his own show. He's like, he absolutely did not do it. This was a
I
full-out
watched
murder.
him.
You know,
Yeah.
big time. Me too.
See, I think what's happening here is that Epstein was 100% a government employee that was killed.
Well, triple agent probably. Yes.
Multiple government.
And they need to keep the whole thing going. They can't unravel it all.
Epstein
And they got
was
their
the star.
hands full and they're new, and someone says, here's all the evidence. And they go, well, shit, I guess he didn't kill himself. And I guess the dude was a lone wolf. And there was just enormous failure after enormous failure after enormous failure to the where at a certain point, it's not a bunch of coincidences. It's literally not mathematically possible.
Yeah.
But I'm telling, like, if we created a special, like, director of the DOJ and FBI, a super position, and we put Hayden in charge, he wouldn't be able to expose the shit either. Like, it's we got the best guys we can get in there to do it, because the guys who could get in there to expose it, well, first off, they're not in a position to even be nominated, but even if they were, then you have to get them actually, like, nominated through the. So any one of the people who would bring it all down and do everything we want them to, it's not possible to get them in. And the best we could get in are these two. A little pragmatism. That's why my binder, I knew what we were getting, but everyone else thought it was a little more realism, a little more pragmatism. And then Bongino, people have been happy with him. He keeps making these update posts and people have been happy. And then he drops this and now people are really mad and trying to look it up. So many hit pieces from the left-wing media about, oh no, MAGA hates Bongino. They've all turned on MAGA now. I haven't done any media interviews to the point because I want to keep the attention on the work. I don't work for myself anymore. I work for you. So it's like, he's on that grind, but then he does an interview and it's, stop doing interviews. And it's like, he doesn't do interviews. It's like, oh, why are you just hiding from us? Why don't you give us updates? So it's like, he's in a position where he can't win, but he's doing the updates and he normally does them well. I don't work for myself anymore. I work for you, but it's important to relay to you what we're doing, and the media can be a tool for that. That's why we choose a long-form interview with Maria Bartiromo, which I like Maria Bartiromo. That's a good person to do a sit-down interview with. I hope you saw it. If you missed it, here are some of the questions that were asked and answered. Yes, we are moving FBI headquarters out of the Hoover building because it's so, like, destroyed. He's like, it's literally, like, not safe for them. We want the American men and women to know if you're, oh wait, the FBI is leaving the Hoover building because this building is unsafe for our workforce because it's so old and dilapidated. But there's some good news about that. We'll talk about it in a second. Process has begun. I was asked about some of the details surrounding the Epstein case. I've reviewed the case. Epstein killed himself. There's no evidence in the case file indicating otherwise. No evidence in the case file indicating otherwise. I'm not asking you to believe me or not. I'm telling you what exists and what doesn't. If new evidence surfaces, I'm happy to reevaluate. I was challenged on accountability. It's a fair question. I aggressively responded because the director and I have been working tirelessly to uncover the bad actors. We cannot get into HR specifics. Fortunately, bad actors, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. We were asked about FBI priorities. The director and I told Maria that the president, AG, the director, and I are absolutely committed to getting your FBI back to its roots. Good. We'll make your community safer. Illegal immigration ops, child sex crimes investigations, 764 cases, and violent criminal fugitive apprehensions and are all on our expanding radar. They have an absurd amount of work to do. And while America is enjoying the summer, we are already planning a massive operation to clean up your streets, which they're going to need because I think this is trying to crash the economy, and you know they're ramping up this race war stuff. We'll be talking about that black bitch getting in trouble for storming that ICE facility. The counter-terror and counter-intel missions are critical and will continue at our customary high tempo too. This is what you pay us for. God bless America and all those who defend her. Does that make anyone feel better, or are you still annoyed?
Pretty much annoyed.
Anyone plead?
Kind of just somewhere in the middle on it, I guess.
I agree with that. He doesn't kind of like, that's pragmatic. That's good. They're going to go after some on the street level stuff, but still, I want the big grand scheme. I want to see people in cuffs. I want accountability for this high-profile shit.
Bongino is not. He's one good man going up against the rest of the world, and they covered this up brilliantly like they always do. You know, like not always, but you know, a lot of times they're pretty incompetent. But who would write down like that they committed a crime? Like, oh, we're gonna put it in the file that Hillary Clinton went in there and killed him, or something. Like, no, that's not how this works here. So it's not going to be in the file, and they're not going to know what happened exactly.
Yeah, they covered their tracks totally.
They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
When you spend your whole career, you know, investigating crimes, you know how to reverse engineer it and cover them up too.
And you're the ones doing the
stuff.
You're the ones doing the investigations, so you're not going to investigate yourself.
Right.
James Comey's daughter was a big part of the Epstein case.
The government investigated the government and found that the government did no wrongdoing, basically.
Oh, that's exactly what happens whenever I investigate myself too.
Yeah.
I have found
don't do your own taxes. Careful.
You've been found on 2 counts of being guilty of being attractive and hilarious, and everyone loves you. You were sentenced to $10 million. All right.
Guilty.
Here we go, though. A little bit of good news.
I got to go get my DoorDash order. I think this driver is another retarded driver. I can't find my door.
Yeah, food delivery drivers are the worst. Am I right? The FBI?
Yeah.
You go get it. FBI has 38,000 when we're fully manned, which we're not. In the National Capital Region, well, that's another I keep talking about, is not only are they understaffed, but then you look at the people who are actually in like the crimes against like children divisions and stuff like that. There's very few people who are willing to sign up for that sort of stuff. So the manpower is very minimal, sadly, and we need Congress and whatnot to do like an actual budget for once and staff them. We'll be getting to it. They are doing some things. All right, this is good because Bongino talked about how he wanted to dismantle the FBI and move everything to the states. Here's a little bit of a step towards that. In the National Capital Region, in the 50-mile radius around Washington, D.C., there were 11,000 FBI employees. That's like a third of the workforce. A third of the crime doesn't happen here, so we're taking 1,500 of those folks and moving them out. Every state's getting a plus up. And I think when we do things like that, we inspire folks in America to become intel analysts and agents, say, we want to go to work at the FBI because we want to blah, 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 whatever. So that's good. Getting them out of the DC shithole and then spreading them out, that is good.
Then
they
we'll
might
have
rub shoulders and elbows with real Americans for once.
Yeah, you know? And you'll have different kinds of thinking too, and not just people from one region of the United States.
Mm-hmm. And also, one thing too is with that type of work, there's a high burnout rate too. If you ever know anyone that's ever met anyone that's worked in that type of horrible high crime stuff, like that's not a 20-year tenure. You're gonna go nuts before you retire.
And you don't want to be a DoorDash driver in DC either.
That's true. It's high risk. Yeah.
Remember that guy that tried to get his own car back? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. I think it was in Texas where an Uber driver was during BLM, and someone pointed a gun at him, and he shot him, and they tried to arrest him.
No, that wasn't DC. No, the one he's talking about, he got arrested.
It was an Uber Eats driver. He delivered some food and left his car running. Someone tried to take his car, and as he was trying to take it back, they drove away with him, like poking out of the door or the window, and they rolled it and killed him.
Yeah, Washington D.C. is an absolute shithole, and I'm all for Trump just taking it away because apparently they can. Like the Congress used to run D.C. and they're like, fine, we'll let D.C. run itself. Immediately turns to shit. Why?
Kamala forever.
Oops, I meant to play this one.
How about for $90? I'll put the fucking mousetrap on my tongue.
We need a political one. Start thinking of political ones, guys.
My hands are shaking, but I'm still shooting. I'm still getting the headshots. It's like boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot.
You got some good ones. I think all my mods are back to being members again, thanks to this one. You just hit anti-state autist. That could be anyone on this panel.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Jess
and Jess was just complaining about how she never gets one. There you go.
Finally. Heck yeah.
We got a special clip for that.
Everyone has AIDS. My grandma and my dog are blue.
You can't get away from it. ABF, I don't know what we would do without reverse fart. I feel like you guys would get along really, really well.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
All right. Before we move on, I'll put the mousetrap on my tongue. All right, so everything in a plus up, that's good. All right, this one. Now see if you guys like this. DHS asked for 20,000 National Guards to aid in deportations. Oh, we don't have enough border guard? We don't have enough people at DHS? How about we use the useless ass National Guard? How about instead of just going and training like once a month and doing nothing, you help round up some illegals? Let's fucking go. Thoughts?
I'm good with that.
I love it.
Do they want to start a volunteer force, Minuteman? I'll sign up.
Yeah.
They could start at my house.
Yeah, so no,
they can start in my neighborhood.
We ain't got no like libertarians all like posse comitatus this, posse comitatus that. Like National Guard, like if we got them, use them. What the hell are they doing? Like
Round
it's
them
good.
up.
It's good using for like national emergencies. You know, I support that.
I mean,
This is a national.
invasion.
Yeah, this is a national emergency, and if you're gonna have a military, the number one thing you should be using it for is to defend your homeland from invasion.
Yeah.
So 20,000 National Guard to aid deportations works for me.
And if you cross, and if you come into this country illegally, you are a felon. You're a criminal.
Yeah.
You're a criminal.
Yes. All the illegals are criminals.
You committed a crime.
They have to, do training and stuff like that all the time too. So why not make their training operations around the border? Get those Blackhawks that have been sitting, up and going, and
So let's say one of us
have to use them. Might as well use them for patrolling the border.
Let's say one of us commits a crime. Does the judge just say, well, it's acceptable for him to say, well, he didn't know he was committing a crime. I didn't know I was committing a crime, so you just let me off.
Yeah, ignorance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that would work? Would that work?
No.
When I paid the cartel coyote $5,000, I had no idea it was illegal.
I mean, no speaky English. Oh, murder, stabby.
I'm surprised the coyote was able to carry you. You're not a small kid like they say that ride on the back of them.
Yeah.
It's one of those big ones, like Princess Mononoke with like the big wolf.
Okay,
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Magical forest and shit. Yeah, you wouldn't understand.
Remember that became a national topic? They were like, "Oh, Trump actually thinks that animals are bringing immigrants into the country."
They're riding coyotes across the border. Trump is so stupid, isn't he, man?
I'm gonna see if I can.
These people can vote too. That's depressing. Man.
Well, no, that person was serving office. One of the ladies, she was like, what was she? She was like a mayor or something like that, right?
I think Mazie Hirono is the dumbest person that I've ever seen in my life.
Was it one of the squad members, maybe? Possibly.
Fox,
from Fox. Does Trump think there are actual coyotes coming over the border? Smuggler coyotes are a problem at the border, not dogs. I love they put them up with the dance. Idiots. All right, so get this out of here. Coyote. All right. James Comey, they're presumably already like breathing down his neck. So he decided to pull his 8647 stunt.
Yeah.
And now he's actually apparently facing consequences. Apparently he got a fun little escort for an interview recently is the scuttlebutt. So looking like he is going to be probably one of the first big dominoes to fall. And he is a large domino physically and also in the deep state. Is him and John Brennan were basically running the coup against Trump during the Trump administration. His explanation. I don't regret my innocent 8647 post. It was clever. It was. All right. So I thought when he said, "Oh, look what I stumbled across," like, "Oh, look, I just coincidentally found this here." I thought like he was like tongue in cheek, like he did it and he took the picture and was like, "Oh, look what I found." He's actually claiming that on his rich guy private ass beach that he randomly walked across this and actually thought, "Oh, what does this even mean?" Well, his wife used to be a server, and she's like, "Well, I remember 86 when I was a server, she did a lot of work in restaurants. Meant to remove an item from the menu when you ran out of ingredients." I said, "Well, to me as a kid, it always meant to leave a place, to ditch a place." I said, "That's really clever." So then she said, You should take a picture of that. I did, and I posted on my Instagram account. No, you fucking made it, and you put out a hit on the leader of the free world, and we all fucking know it. I worked in a restaurant. Go fuck yourself. We all know what you meant, and I hope you end up behind bars.
Speaking English. Restaurant industry either. Organized crime used that to put a hit out on people. And Comey, having worked in the FBI, should know that, having dealt with crime. And he was in the military. That's a military term, too.
He doesn't know what number. He doesn't know what numbers are. He doesn't know what numbers are. I don't know.
Well, Erwin, I didn't mean kill when I hit Alt Control Delete and killed that process. I was just, making it stop.
Yeah, Alt F4 47. That's gonna be the next thing he finds on the beach.
But yeah, people are pointing out that if this is acceptable to have the 86, as like the other meanings, and it's not actually like a threat, then that's like basically having like the softball version of it, and you're basically just like dog whistling to everybody.
You know that they were changing it. They were changing it on Wikipedia. They were changing the definition in real time.
Dude, of course they are.
It's an actual dog whistle because you say it like, oh, I mean it all like sweet and innocent. It's artistic, and then everyone on Blue Sky immediately starts using 8647 to call for his like assassination, essentially. I had no idea anyone would. I totally am not trying to get another lone wolf to pull it off. That their FBI handlers can find him on Reddit.
He was on our radar, right?
Yeah, because we hunted him down on Reddit and then used him as an asset and set him up. They would never do that. All right, we got some good news. Montana joins Alabama, Florida, and Nebraska banning sales of fake meat products.
Good.
Based.
Let's get that vegan shit out while we're at it. One step at a time, though.
Get out of here.
How we make America great again. Hell yeah.
Look at the ingredients on some of those like Impossible burgers or whatever. It's all shit you can't pronounce.
It's seed oils too, mostly. A lot of it to make up for the fat. Yeah.
And so Montana did it. It was a really good point. Is that like they're like a beef producer. So, like, of course they would hate the lab-grown meat. They're trying to put, like, their farmers out of business and what have you.
Yeah, it's bad for them.
Yeah, so not only is it, like, Republicans actually standing up for their own people against something that's normally, like, tinfoil hat, like, this is something I thought we would have to, like, badger them about. But, like, the fake meat and then also the bugs, they've gone after you're not putting bugs on our food stuff. Yeah. Back in the day, I mean, Republicans are going to be conservatives for years to come, probably. Well, but they're banning lab-grown meat, and we're going to pull it out. Florida, yet another one, second one, ban fluoride. They're taking fluoride out of the public water.
I wish they would do that in my state.
What are the gay frogs going to do? What are they going to drink?
ABF, we actually do have one about your state.
But I don't like your face.
They're doing what they did in mine. They're trying to do online age verification to get on porn sites, which is what my state did. So what do? Pornhub says, we're not creating a giant user base and having some online verification thing. All the hackers are going to come after it. It's just so irresponsible. We don't want to do it. So they just ban porn. So Arizona, it says, passes digital ID law mandating, what it really means is your state is banning porn.
I'm actually kind of okay with that last point you just made.
I actually support that.
Nothing changed in my state in the slightest bit. So, yeah.
It's just going to make people realize that they have to subscribe to a VPN.
Yes, but then they just make VPNs illegal.
Yeah. We'll see.
I know. Yeah, but I got to use my VPN to download the VPN, and then. All right. Did you guys have any other thoughts on the lab-grown meat or the floor? I used to have
the push to do the meat stuff is 100% a green agenda, and they don't want cows in existence. That's why they want you to eat fake meat and bugs, because they truly believe that growing all the grass for the cows to eat and the cows farting actually ruins the earth. So, but I don't give a if destroying the earth means we can't have beef, then I'd rather destroy the fucking earth. So
that's right. It's gonna be
you
blown
just
up one day
breathing,
anyway.
you just being here and existing as a human being. Like, these people are such anti-human people. Like they just.
That's what it is.
That's an excellent transition, because we actually had a recent anti-human terrorist. Bomber of California fertility clinic called himself a pro-mortalist, believed nobody consents to being born. Dude literally got infected by the anti-life equation.
That's
25-year-old
great.
man.
25, of course.
Yeah. Left a manifesto. I know Isaac's got a manifesto of his pro-mortalist beliefs, including that people could not consent to being born. So basically, he was like, I'm depressed, and like no one ever asked me if like I want to be born. So he blew up an IVF clinic, in vitro a clinic, because he's like, oh, well, you're trying to like force kids into the world without their consent. So
That's every human ever.
So it was a big ass explosion. Like it took out the whole building practically.
Holy shit.
And him. So his whole thing was to Minecraft himself with the bomb and like upload the video to this website he made. And then he had his manifesto on the website. Upload air.
So wait, what about all the people?
Oh my gosh!
What about people that like that
That's
they
awesome.
were born? It's his justification that they're like in some sort of Stockholm syndrome because they've been in the world for so long that they actually like.
They just don't know. They just don't know that how bad it is to be alive. ABF. Yeah.
Like I want to have a conversation with this dude. It'd be hilarious.
That's like, don't you just hate being here, breathing this fucking air right now?
I'm very against IVF. It's extremely wrong. These are people who are having kids after they sat there and thought about it. How much more stupid can you get?
This is the type of dude that have you heard that joke where I can't remember what stand-up comedian said it, but they're like, "Why did you kill everybody in the house? They was home."
Yeah.
Jesus.
Isaac.
Oh my gosh.
He appears to have attempted to film the attack using a tripod, but the file failed to upload to his personal website. So he was trying to do like a martyr video on his way out, and the upload failed.
That's awesome.
Good.
And I thought I had trouble if like a meme didn't load up or something in time. Like, okay, whatever, it's not the best.
Well, imagine you're like, oh, I got my final meme scheduled. Everyone's gonna regret calling me gay all those times, and then it doesn't. You accidentally scheduled it for like 2 years from now.
I am all for bringing back mental institutions and forcibly removing certain people from society, man. Like this dude is a perfect example of that. He needs to be in a fucking mental institution.
Oh, well, his friends should have also been. His friend Sophie convinced her boyfriend to shoot her as she slept. And that matches a person who that happened to. Turns out you still get charged with second-degree murder when someone tells you can shoot them while they sleep.
What?
I thought this was
to believe.
I thought this was America.
Man.
So yeah, he's the only one who died. It failed to, but it was. I don't know if they have pictures, but yeah, it was. It was an explosion. He built a bomb, and he was presumably radicalized by like Reddit or somewhere online, just like these crazy 764.
Did he use ChatGPT like how to accidentally make a bomb or something?
Dude, I love that meme so much because it's true.
AI Darth Vader told
in
him
a
in
fictional
Fortnite.
setting, okay? ChatGPT in
Yeah.
a fictional world.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. Yeah, AI Darth Vader. How do I hypothetically mix mustard gas in Fortnite?
How to blow people up and get away with it.
Accidentally.
Terrorism for dummies.
Allegedly.
All right. So they buried the lead on this one. AOC is no longer wearing her engagement ring. Wait, why the hell am I talking about
She
this?
don't need no man.
Okay, well, that's weird. Well, let's see. While the absence of the ring has raised questions, records show the couple continues to share a residence in Queens. And they were seen together in March 2024. She's also referred to him as her spouse in House Ethics Committee filings, though her office clarified they're not legally married. Okay, why are we talking about this? The couple's unmarried status has significant implications. As a long-term partner rather than a legal spouse, Roberts is not required to disclose his financial activities, including stock trades or employment details. Every single member of the squad is paying some family member with campaign cash and stuff like that. Every single fucking one.
Yeah.
So they were together for like 8 years or something like that before they finally were engaged. It's like, all right, finally he put a ring on it, but now the ring's gone, but they're still together. Why?
She learned from the best, Nancy.
Correct. And who else is probably imminently going to be facing some indictments? AOC.
Letitia James, right?
Well, Letitia James as well.
Yeah.
But the scuttlebutt is they're going to be going after AOC for teaching all the illegals to get away from ICE.
Well,
apparently they're actually going to go after her for it. So
good.
Do you guys remember AOC was like going against the grain, and then she had this like behind closed door thing with Nancy Pelosi, and then all of a sudden she started doing exactly what Nancy said.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if she's got something on her, and the corruption, started there, but I don't know.
She was completely
like
useless. Yeah, she was completely useless. Like nobody voted for a green bill. Even Democrats didn't vote for it. So that's when I knew that she was not in the club yet.
Yeah.
And
she got the call. She got the call. They told her what's up.
She had to find a way to get into the club, because once you're in the club, you get all the perks and you get you're above the law.
But she's still in that like useful idiot like level of the pyramid. She's like in the club a bit, but it's at the useful idiot level. But it's kind of like how they sold us out to China, but then China started getting uppity and then kind of said, yeah, no, we're going to do our own thing. So they have the crazy commies to radicalize everyone. But then sometimes the crazy commies go off script, which she occasionally does.
And I think the reason why I feel like she is kind of dangerous in a lot of ways, because I feel like she is a true believer. I think she actually thinks that a lot of them acting like this is justified because they're going to bring apart a better world of communism.
Yeah, useful idiot. Exactly. Which actually, I'll go and bring this up. They also screwed up. This headline's like clickbait, and they buried the lead. AOC walks out of town hall after crime question from fed up constituent. But first, Jake Martin dropped the 20. I was going to wait, and then I saw it was the Woot sticker, and the Woot sticker don't wait for no fucking time. Jake Martin, 20. Jake, I need another one for you. I'm going to try to find a Woot clip for Jake. But till then, we'll just have to settle with a little bit of looping.
Huh? Last I found a challenge worthy of my talent. All I can say is I sure hope you know what you're doing, boss.
Oh, also, Jake, so I ended up getting more stickers than I previously expected. I got the Fujiko Mio sticker, or Hime sticker, or whatever. I got the Lupin Girl sticker. She's cutie pie. So, you let me know if there's another sticker you want. Doesn't have to be Lupin related, but I wouldn't complain if it was. And then, dropping by, we get the Leon Rain, we get the stickers, we get the $10, and it's Super Pear. Just going like that, looking for an avocado to suck.
What?
You wouldn't get it.
We're off the rails.
No, it's just the pear looks like an avocado is what I was thinking.
A little bit.
Maybe it's actually, maybe I'm looking at Supergirl. I mean, the pear is pretty curvy, I must say.
Good for women that had babies and now they're trying to
Power Girl, though. That would be Power Girl.
They're trying to strengthen up that area.
Oh, hey,
isn't that pear in the Last of Us?
True. It's gonna be a dad, actually.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the
potato.
So when's the dildo?
Oh, it's roughly the same shape of the head, though.
You guys hear? You guys hear something creeping around?
T-minus 3 minutes.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You love to see it. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. All right. AOC walks out of town hall after crime. Okay, so that's not even like the real story. So basically, one of her constituents asked her a question about the crime. What are you doing for Jackson Heights? Are you aware of the crime and prostitution? Have you seen the neighborhood lately? She dismissed me. So this is one of her constituents. So we're told how great she is. Oh, we need more AOCs. Her district apparently has a bunch of crime and a prostitution problem currently. She said she'd be right back and never came back and just handed the floor to her assistant, which was really infuriating. So she didn't flee. She was just basically like, it's over. But why would she be like, well, it's over? The real thing, the actual part of the story that matters. Wait, is it up or down? All right. No, where does she say it? Does she say it up here? Basically, she says she was given a script. Not only that,
really? Wow.
We were given questions written by them.
Yep. These are the questions we want you to ask us.
So it's like our concerns weren't really addressed until like someone had to speak up, and I had to be that person, and she still does nothing. So it's like, she doesn't sound like she just escaped. She just like ran off. But when you put it like this, and one person goes off script, and then she's like, I'll be right back, guys, and then does the Homer Simpson fade into the bush?
I need a pack of cigarettes. I'll be back.
So someone asked her a real question and she ran away. Democracy at work. And then what brings this up is she's actually on a big tour right now. The whole Fighting Oligarchy tour. That's the Bernie Sanders one. But then they're also, apparently the Democrats are doing a bunch of town halls. So that's what this actually was. So Democrats are like, hey, we're less popular than we've ever been. So let's do some town halls so we can connect to our constituents. Hey, constituent, here's the question you can ask us. If you say anything else, we're out of here. It's not a good look.
Fighting oligarchy and replacing it with top-down government. And by giving Ukraine all this money. That's just, whatever.
I don't... Like, MAGA is as grassroots as it gets. Like, this Democrat astroturfing used to work, but it is not nearly as effective as it used to be.
No,
it's synthetic. It's disingenuous, and people don't buy it anymore. I don't think so on a large scale. At least
It's basically saying, I hate Elon Musk. Vote for me.
It's the party of derangement syndrome. That's it. They have nothing to offer. They're just like, we hate them. That's all they have to say.
And they keep saying, it's like, oh, well, what should the Democrats do to win back the voters? And they're always like, well, we got to have a clear message. We got to tell them what we want to do and all this stuff. And it's like, no.
Let's get more crazy.
That's why you're so unpopular. You
How do we
idiots.
go more crazy? That'll do it.
And then blah, blah, blah. Then they talk about how AOC and Tom Homan and the Know Your Rights with ICE, and she may actually face some consequences. You know who else may have to face some consequences? Say shout out to Hook and others in chat. Please keep in mind that chat is now on the screen, so behave. Mayor Brandon Johnson, the reason I hire so many blacks to run Chicago is because we're planet Earth's most generous race. I've worked on tips for a long time. That is a complete inversion of reality, but that's not what we're talking about, chat. That's not what we're talking about. DOJ investigating Chicago hiring practices amid backlash over Mayor Johnson's viral comments. Oopsie daisy. He brags about his DEI hiring practices, and now the DOJ are looking into it.
I wonder if they ever skipped over someone that was more qualified.
It's
oh my god! It's
the majority of the people working for Chicago are black. It's like 34%. To be fair, it is a very black city, but yeah, the majority of people, or the plurality of people. See, I'm smart. The plurality of people who work for the government are black people. So
and it's
DEI. Probably
it's a much higher percentage than the population. Even like it's like the percentage of people in the government to like the actual population. There's plenty of white people in Chicago, but like the white people that live in the city, a lot of them hate them. They hate white people, and they're white.
I want to highlight the
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what did we talk about?
You said black people are not generous tippers. Yeah.
You're not black, you're Australian. Appreciate
One
you.
exception.
But no, I know it's a joke, but like for real, when I hear reparations, it fucking pisses me off because I have been stiffed by so many black people. I done paid my reparations. Now where's my reparations for all the money your black ass stole from me?
You know who I owe reparations?
Yeah, wait, Nyat's paying me reparations. Yeah, shut up, Nyat.
I owe reparations to the English.
Oh, he dropped more reparations. See, he confirming it is reparations. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a brothel pair.
Yeah, it literally is a rolling on the floor laughing pair. Magnum, what were you saying?
I'm Scandinavian, so if I owe anybody reparations, it's the English. It's the English because
I'll be waiting for that right now. Thank you. I'm English. That'd be awesome.
We raided the English for years and terrorized that country. We did, and we took slaves from England. So those are people that I owe to.
You know what? all you goddamn Scandinavians love your socialism and whatnot. You suckers probably would let us get away with sucking reparations.
Those are the red fins. I'm not or those are the blue fins. I'm whatever you call it. No, red fin is the commie ones. So yeah.
I'm just not looking forward to having to give Andy and Katie reparations. Personally, I just don't think that's fair.
Yep, I agree.
Jess, I normally don't demand people super chat, but
yeah, Lindstrom is what? Swedish?
Reparations, please.
Is it Lindstrom?
Wait,
we'll be
back when you. I bet back when the Viking days it was actually pronounced Lindstorm. Right? That sounds super Viking-y, right? No, she's gonna hurt me.
I mean, the mighty Thor will make a big lid storm in the sky, right?
Thunderstorm. Yeah.
Yep.
I like it. Yes, I'm Asian, not according to my Ancestry.com results, but I'm close.
So when I apply
normally this is for attacking Grogu, currently for defending myself against Jessica.
When I apply for a job, I identify as a retarded black female midget.
That's literally what YouTube thinks I am.
Well, I just have to say I filled out my YouTube thing recently, and I am actually a Native American lesbian. So,
no, that's I'm that, or maybe bisexual. I think I'm Native and something else. I forget, but yeah,
I'm Native American. They them actually.
That works too.
Oh man, God, we are diverse around here.
Isn't diversity awesome?
Nyat over here trying to play his race card on us, and he doesn't even know how Indian we all are.
Isn't it convenient that you can just identify as whatever you want at any time? You know?
Speaking of, Puerto Ricans do that all the time, like race chameleons. AOC Puerto Rican as well, and according to her, she's also Jewish because Sephardic Jews went to Puerto Rico or something. AOC once says she was Jewish.
Me and Hook will keep our mouth shut on that. So,
all right, so yeah, you better keep your mouth shut, or Hillary's gonna get you. This made me so happy. Trump posted a Clinton body count video. More of this, please, Mr. President. Please. That made me happy.
Just lean into the Alex Jones. Let's do it.
Please, just more. All right, let's see. All right, yeah, we're doing good. Speaking of Hillary Clinton, do you guys see this clip?
Not yet. No.
No. You guys have been missing out on some good ones. This is where Hillary Clinton just fully 100% admits to replacement migration. That's what we have to call it. UN replacement migration. We're not allowed to use the other word.
I did see that clip. She said to stop having babies and stuff. She said that one.
Yes. Oh. Yeah. The Trump administration wants Americans to have more babies. We all know he wants white babies. That's what he really means. But if he's saying we need more babies, then why is he kicking out all of the immigrants, the illegal criminal immigrants? They're the ones who have the most children. We Americans shouldn't have children. That's why we import the illegals in, because they have lots of children. We have a term for that. We're not allowed to use it. We have to use the official term. UN. It's like having to call chemtrails stratospheric aerosols or whatever. UN replacement migration. That's the word we're allowed to use. And she just full blown makes that argument.
So it's not replacement. Not replacement theory is theory, right? It's not.
It's replacement. What do you call that?
I call it ethnic. I call it ethnic cleansing. That's what we used to call it, at least.
That's what it is. I
call it genocide.
Genocide quoi?
We need to definitely incentivize more white Americans to be having babies. Basically, keep up your country. 2 for 2. A couple of 2 people. You need to have 2 kids at minimum.
Well, you can't
need someone to pay the taxes.
Eradicate feminism. It has to go. Without eradicating feminism, it's going to keep dropping.
Well, then actually, let's talk. Raise the child tax credits. There's lots of different things you can do to get people to have more kids, and being incentivized by having the government stealing less money from you if you have more kids. Excellent way to do it. Yep. But it's also very much so a culture thing. But if we get the big beautiful bill, it's got lots of pork, lots of problems still, but there is some tax cuts, and I believe they're renewing Trump's tax cuts. And then sadly, it looks like they're going to like sunset the no tax on tips and stuff, all that stuff we love. Apparently, that's only going to last till like 2028 probably or something like that.
And whether you like it or not, renewing the church is a way to get more marriages and more children.
The number one, that, and then economic situation. Because everyone's like, oh, I don't have enough money to raise a kid. It's normally like the number one excuse.
Well, just to say what Magnum was saying with the church, like literally, we're the religion, Christianity, be fruitful and multiply is the first command, to Adam and Eve.
So I came up with a term yesterday that I think I'm going to use. It's a cultural crusade. That's what I want. I want a culture crusade. So I'm going to... Don't patent it or copyright it, you bastards. That's mine.
I'm getting the shirts made up right now, actually. So I'll beat you to it.
Sneaking behind my back. Yeah.
Isaac, I pulled this one up just for you. Russian court finds Apple for violating LGBT propaganda law. They're getting 10 million ruble. Yeah, $130,000 in 4 separate. It's like nothing essentially. Yeah. But they, in 2023, the whole promoting non-traditional sexual relations is no longer allowed, and a broader crackdown on LGBTQ rights. And it wasn't a whole lot, but yeah, they actually enforced it. It was what, like 2 seconds of their revenue or something like that. But still, Apple had to pay money for being too fucking gay, and that's funny.
That's pretty based. I remember. Well, Putin passed a law. He signed a law a couple of years ago, basically banning any gay stuff from being advertised in the country, and that's absolutely based. Say what you want. Yeah, and
the reasoning essentially is because it's global homo. It's international LGBT movement, and it's literally about like destroying their culture and whatnot. Is why they got rid of it, because they recognize it.
What
as
a concept!
global
You don't want your young children to see some friggin' dudes making out up on a billboard while you're walking down the street. What a
Dude, have you seen their military ads? They're like a 1980s American military ads. It's very similar to like it's pro and it's patriotic as fuck. And I can't hate that. So
yeah, I believe China already does that, and Apple has to obey by their stuff. So something must be getting through over there too. Maybe this will actually shine a light on that, because whatever app or whatever they saw the gay stuff through, I'm sure it was on the China app too.
They seem to be very comfortable with catering to China, though. When it's other countries, they're like, "Oh, we can do what we want." But with China, they always kowtow to them. Whatever it may be.
It's money.
That's because that's where all this shit's made.
Right. Yeah, it's their manufacturing.
So Bill Gates, and this needs to be said a lot more often. People need to know that Bill Gates is working with the CCP. Literally.
Oh, for sure.
He's a consultant. He's a consultant to the PLA, and he provides tech support with Microsoft to the PLA, the People's Liberation Army, which works for the CCP. Or it's their arm of enforcement, basically.
The People's Liberation Army. Yeah.
Yeah. It's their arm of enforcement, and Bill Gates, that cocksucker, is working for them.
Yeah,
so, I said it. Bill Gates is a cocksucker.
If you're a big company who wants in the country, congrats, you now work for the CCP.
I'm so happy to see Elon Musk, going.
And then, and like a World Health Organization, we were the number 1 funders, and the number 2 and 3, Bill Gates and China.
Yep.
All right, so we got to do a little bit of eye glazing for all those dang Europeans. We have so many Europeans and international people, so we got to talk about that stuff occasionally. And one of the eye glazers, I kept talking about the Romanian election, where a former globalist, one of the dudes running like the whole climate scam, finally became a populist, woke up to it, and was doing really good speaking out about it. Out of nowhere was the front runner and won the first runoff election because they do a little 2. They do like the second runoff election because parliamentary systems are gay. So out of nowhere, big win. So they say, election doesn't count. Russia. All right, we got to do a redo. And then right before the redo, right as the candidate's going to like sign up to be a candidate, they arrest him and charge him with starting a neo-Nazi organization that they just fully 100% made up out of thin air. Russian propagandist, neo-Nazi. He used to be one of them. He used to be a big part of the global climate scam. So not only are like, oh, your election doesn't count, then they Marine Le Pen does ass. And well, it's fine because he backs, and then they're like Supreme Court or whatever says, yeah, no, it's fine. We don't have democracy anymore. So he endorses the number 2 guy, clearly going to win. Still going to be an easy win. At least the populists are still going to win. It's not going to be their candidate. Except they pulled what they did in Canada, where it's a parliamentary system. So all of the parties collude with each other. So in Canada, they had all of the like center and left political groups not run candidates, so just the one party could win. And that's how they managed to win, even though the conservatives should have absolutely trounced them. They did that here, where it should have been the populists who won, but all the left and the center got together and conspired like they do in parliamentary systems, and a big old globalist is in charge. Isn't that convenient?
It's almost like globalists are infiltrating every party of every country. And it's not a conspiracy. It is a conspiracy. You know what I mean? But
in Europe, they don't have to infiltrate your country anymore. They just control the EU out of Brussels, and you're just fucked.
Yeah.
Do you hear the new push in England now, and the Brenter movement? Back into the EU.
I had the tab, but I got rid of it. Yes, Keir Starmer is basically about to do like half of Brexit. Been waiting for the day, like they were going to un-Brexit, and so essentially they're going to get to pay a bunch of money to have Brussels fine them a lot of money and like do lawsuits against them and stuff.
It's 1 step forward, 2 steps back with them.
They have no democracy. They keep our democracy, but they have none. You know.
And then they'll bring them in, but they'll be a non-voting member country, which is essentially like they'll be treated like the third world is treated at the UN, essentially, fucking UK, like where the actual Western civilization came out of.
And you know why it's going to happen is because the UK does not have any power like they used to. They're not an empire anymore because they basically cut their legs off by being a bunch of whiny commie bitches.
It used to be.
And these Europeans are going to keep going on about Trump and Vance destroying democracy.
I hope.
Don't let them get away with it.
No.
Because we have stories like this. Yeah, we want to talk about the most tyrannical state. It's not North Korea or Iran. It's currently Germany. Police block activists from leaving country to attend remigration summit in Italy in major crackdown. All right, I'm giving you the TLDR on this. So, remigration. Send all the third worlders home. That's what remigration means. So, they were having a little summit, like a little convention with a bunch of, speakers to talk about remigration. It was going to be held in Italy. So, you had a bunch of people who were going to be part of it from Germany traveling to Italy. Well, at the airport, sorry, we're going to need to pull you out of the line. And turns out you're not allowed to leave Germany, and you have to check in twice a day with the police. And the reason you're not allowed to leave Germany is because if you were to leave Germany, then it will seem like to the rest of the world that Germany supports far-right extremists. So you're not allowed. Damn it, this is so important, Gatekeeper. Just let me, just like a little bit longer. I'm so close to finishing, Gatekeeper. I swear to God, it's so good to see you. So Germany doesn't want the rest of the world to think that they're a bunch of crazy authoritarian extremists. So you are banned from leaving the country. They basically put them on like house arrest and said you're not allowed to leave the country.
So what? Just German citizens or
yes, Germans. And well, here I'll go ahead and read it real quick, and then we'll get to Gatekeeper. It's so good to see you.
So they're being held hostage, basically.
So we're going to prove that we're so free you can't leave the country. Yeah, that's awesome.
Literally, exactly. In the event of this is what Germany is saying. In the event of an exit from German right-wing extremists, there is a considerable risk of damage to the reputation of Germany due to the stays of German right-wing extremists who promote the transnational networking of the right-wing extremist scene.
Where?
This is all about them saying that AfD, the most popular party in the country currently, they're trying to ban them because they're saying that it's like a Nazi or like Russian organization. The same thing they just did into Romania. So they're trying to ban the most popular party right now.
Yeah, and they're claiming they committed crimes, and then they're not giving up any evidence whatsoever.
it actively promote the inhuman ideology, nothing else explained or defined, and give it more scope, thus harbors the risk of radicalization of other people and their trips for the development of financial research. Oh, and then they're only doing it because they are grifters. And it is also due to the history of Germany that basically we were Nazis, so now you're not allowed to have right-wing opinions because we were far-left fascist socialists.
That's straight up commie propaganda.
And you're not allowed to leave the country now because democracy.
That's fascist in itself.
Yeah, it's the definition of fascist.
And Italy is going along with it. So Germany and Italy teaming up to go full fascist. The last time that happened was the fourth turning in World War II, and we're in the next fourth turning where Germany and Italy are going full fascist again.
Why do I keep feeling like we lost World War II? like everything went to shit after War. It seems like the evil bastard Spectre took over after World War II, and that's all we're, it's fucking it's depressing.
But now, go ahead. Make it
I was
quick,
going
though.
to say, Gatekeeper also had a member message.
Another one. Another one. Another one.
I had the another one lined up, and I didn't even realize at the time that there was indeed another one. Gatekeeper! So I was literally just thinking about you the other day, because you said you were going to stop by to see me, and I hadn't seen you yet. And I was like, where's my Gatekeeper?
What's up,
Hi,
Gatekeeper?
panel. ABF, sup, Erwin, sup, Gatekeeper. Late night tonight and saw you, and of course wanted to show some love. Oh, always appreciate it. Wish you guys continued success and good health. You too, Gatekeeper. Actually, if you want to wish me anything, I'm going to go look at the little studio apartment above a garage that I can apparently allegedly get fiber internet. So if that's actually a decent place to live and I can actually get fiber internet, literally, please, this is not the first time I've asked, please pray for my internet. And another one. Gatekeeper for 20. Shout out Moxie, Snarky J, Scooby Pup, Badger, Disbrew, Amanda McKnight, Epic Mike, Fear the Beardo, Blue Collar Loser, RK Outpost, Gothics. I did not take a big enough breath for this. Riot, Hypnotic, Gooch, Mr. Tech Rat even got in there. Chat, Gary, and may God bless the Epic Angel.
Another one. Another one. Another one.
Hell.
It's so good to see you. I appreciate you so much, Gatekeeper. For real. When I say
all you guys on the panel, fuck off.
When I say that I think about chat more than is healthy, I'm not joking. I appreciate you all so freaking much. Yeah. Y'all my friends and family. I literally see you all more than my friends and family. So you guys aren't even my friends and family. You're something above my friends and family because I actually see you guys. Oh, appreciate you all.
So they say your priorities in life is chat, family, friends.
No, God, chat, family.
Exactly.
guns.
I'm saying in terms of human connections. Yes. Yes.
Geeks and Gamers #1. No.
All right.
Geeks and Gamers, mom and dad.
I like to thank Jesus. I like to thank the 199, my agent. All right. One last little one, because, we point at Germany and we go, ha ha, bunch of Yahtzees over there, being Yahtzees. Well, let's look back at here. Supreme Court orders Democrat-led Maine legislature to revoke censure of representative blah, blah, blah. Okay. Long story short. So she made a post about a man competing against women. And she posted a picture of him. How dare she post a picture of him? So basically, they said, you're doxing this child. How dare you post a picture of a minor? We're a bunch of Democrat pedophiles, but how dare you endanger the child whose balls we're trying to chop off? So they censured her, which normally is just like a you get written up situation. But then part of this was you had to apologize, a written apology. And she said, fuck you. I'm not doing a written apology. So they said, you don't get to vote in the legislature anymore. Your constituents have been fully disenfranchised because you don't think men can chop their balls off and become women and then should be able to compete against girls. You're not allowed to vote. And disenfranchised.
What legislator are you talking about?
Maine.
Maine is such a cook state. I'm pretty close to Maine. I can tell you right now, The countryside of Maine is so conservative. There's so many
yeah.
Trump MAGA people in Maine. It's just the coastline, like 2 cities that destroyed that
Yeah.
state.
So I
And
visited
other
Maine
than
one
that, it's a
time.
red state. Yeah.
I visited Maine one time, and there's a lot of like East Coast, like New Yorkers, and that's why they get what they get, because you got people are fleeing the shithole cities, and they're moving to like my state, and they're also moving to Maine, and they're ruining.
Maine is the most rural state east of the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
Tons of conservatives, Trump supporters, everything.
It's a red state that's turning purple because of all the people fleeing New York and all these bad
And
places.
so I give kudos to her for standing on merit.
Oh yeah,
Here, and she's
you
just
gotta fight. We gotta have to fight
Well,
in these purple states.
exactly.
Man. We gotta take them back.
And then this is what she said in response to her getting censured. Let me be clear. I will not be silenced, and I will not allow the voices of Maine girls to be silenced. And she was even willing to have her and vote taken away from her because she wanted to stand with her principles. And holy shit, girls got bigger balls than a lot of our Republicans.
I don't think that should be allowed to have her vote taken away. That is actual bullshit.
Yeah.
And
I bet
the vote was 75-70, so it only won by 5 votes, and they can take voting privileges away with only a 5 vote.
Write it down, take a picture, and spread it to the world for the rest of eternity.
They did that stuff
happened.
back in 2022
You know what I mean?
for like if
Yeah.
you weren't wearing a mask, you couldn't vote and shit. Like
Right. Well, it seems like they were looking for an excuse, right? Because I bet you that picture that she posted, it was probably in school papers and already on social media and stuff like that. It was already out there. Nobody was getting doxxed. So it was just a bullshit reason saying.
Yeah. Well, the reason is it probably is because it was a 75-70 vote. After that, it became a 75-69 vote.
Nice.
I didn't even think about that, but indeed, nice. All right. That was my last tab. Did you guys think of anything else you had in mind? Or any other racist jokes you wanted to get out?
Oh, racist jokes.
Okay, I was expect. All right. Oh, no. Hey, we're finished. Hour and 31. Dang, I did good. ABF. Tell chat where you're going to be tomorrow, please.
Tomorrow we will be doing Trigger Happy. We're going to have Nick from The Plot Strikes Back join the panel. And we're leading into Leighton Gay to continue on Gooch Week. Instead of Shark Week, we're celebrating Gooch Week.
Yeah, I was also listening to him talk about video games. Oh, wait. I don't think he talked about video games once, did he?
I did too. It was all right.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah, just to do my outro, I guess I'm about to hit up God of War Ragnarok, which I do like so far. So I know certain people hate it because they think God of War is pussy these days, but I really like the new games still. So, you know.
I'm actually playing a Viking game as well, Doom Dark Ages, which actually is really good. I
Oh,
do not know why it felt so bad.
So I got Game Pass, and I'm going to play Eternal first because I haven't played Eternal. Not
me
Game
neither.
Pass, not Game Pass, but PlayStation, whatever you call it, Platinum or some shit. But.
Okay, I like Doom Dark Ages enough. I'm like, do I also beat Eternal? No,
Yeah.
I got time. I need to be productive. But I could beat Eternal like really quick and then be no. But like super quick. Oh,
So
right.
Eternal. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Eternal's like fast-paced, erratic combat, where like the new one is more slow. and you're kind of a tank.
I don't think you were going to say erratic.
Yeah, I think
I
I
heard
was gonna
something
say
else
something else
coming out of your mouth. Yes, I would say Dark Ages has got me very erect. They got
erect combat.
I think any game that involves killing demons is pretty based. So
demons.
You run around with a rock hard boner killing people.
Giant robots fighting giant monsters. Cthulhu monsters. I don't know why. Like at least why the Steam numbers are so bad. I'm really enjoying it. I got 2 levels left, so we need to hurry up and get out of here. Hayden wants to do his outro first, though, Isaac. Hold on. Hayden for a 20 out of left field. So wait, our 2-hour show only goes for an hour and a half when I always try to go for an hour and a half. Sometimes we go a little bit long. That's why when I was happy about the hour 31. But I go on Leon's show, and his 1 hour show lasts 2.5 hour show. What the fuck? Why am I on all the long street? Yeah, no, I'm a good boy. Hour to an hour and a half, I consider to be like the perfect stream. If you got like 2 people, hour 15 is good. Hour and a half is the only reason I go long sometimes is because we have so much fun here.
Yeah, Hayden talks too much. Hayden talks too much. That's why we're
yeah. I can't believe that Hayden. How dare he?
I'm hungry.
But no, actually, honestly, I kept, I knew he wasn't going to be here, but then I kept pulling up the like FBI stuff, and I'm like, Hayden's going to be so mad. Hayden's going to be so mad.
Like,
and
I want to say something.
He wasn't even here. Yeah, I know. yeah, Hayden. Yeah, what are your thoughts on Bongino and Cash saying that Epstein killed him? Epstein killed himself, and nothing happened at Butler?
Let me make up for Hayden not being here. Fire Pam Bondi right now, immediately. Do it right now.
No, I talk too much. You talk too long. I guess I don't know. You go like you take yourself down rabbit holes. I love it. All right, Isaac.
Yes,
I don't remember if did I do it yet. Okay.
Follow me on YouTube. Try to grow the channel. Streaming every Monday night, 8 p.m. Golden Age podcast. I need to grow the YouTube. We're growing it, hitting goals, and I appreciate it. Every sub counts. So thank you guys.
You've been out there doing on that community post game. I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, you hit the 250 mark right before.
We hit the 250 mark. We just hit another watch hour goal today, actually.
Wait, what are you at?
300, so I'm 10% there. Not much. I need to put out more videos. I need to do 2 per week. So we're working on it. So, but check out the YouTube. We have a lot of fun guests. We have a couple good ones.
Your streams? Your streams do well, man. Like it's
working on it.
You're on your way.
They're actually really entertaining. If I didn't have to start and prep for my show, I'd watch the entire thing. I'm only there for like the first half hour, so
I appreciate it. I appreciate it though. You know,
I just need to work into my schedule. The problem is I get off stream and then I go wander off and do a bunch of stuff, and then I come back and I'm like, yeah. But I know there's
so much.
It's part of the block now. I need to remember. Yeah, so Mondays. Yeah, Mondays I need to remember because it goes. Yeah, because we go from Badger Stream to you to ABF to.
And I like to keep it compact.
Moxie?
It's a 1 hour stream, and we have to put it off because we raid into off the hip. We send them that way, so we cannot go over an hour.
Yeah, I know. So, my Thursday and Friday streams are an hour, and then Saturday and Sunday and Tuesday hour and a half.
It works perfectly.
People who do 2 to 3 hour streams are crazy. People, stop it. Get some help. And with like 10 people on the panel, it's too many guys.
I hit 1,260 subs, and then someone unsubbed, and now I'm at 1,259, and it's really triggering me. Can someone please sub over?
Could 10 people? Could 10 people please sub for ABF?
I unsubbed.
And then make it 69 would make me even happier.
I unsubbed because you guys are just too gay. So
I totally understand.
I respect it though.
We kicked the VTuber out of here though. What about? Is it okay, man? Oh wait, you're talking about subscribing to him or subscribing?
I think you're talking about subscribing to me. I'm
because
too gay.
he went from 1260 to 1259, and I said that was me because they're too gay for me.
Yeah,
so.
I'm at 251 right now. Can we hit 250?
Yes, and Isaac desperately needs some.
I desperately need a couple. Yeah, check me out on X too. I post very offensive, horrible things on X. If you like that, check it out. So.
Also, yeah, shout out. I was talking about all the raiding. Forgot I need to raid into Moxie.
and I go to Isaac's channel every other Monday, and I try to get him demonetized as much as possible.
I appreciate it though. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm still so jealous I didn't get him.
I'm here to impede your progress.
Yes, I'm at 1260. All right, I can go to bed happier tonight. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Absolute pleasure having you all here. I will get it set up to raid into Moxie. She's doing her AI Dungeon Master thing. So make sure you go say what's up to her. And do we want to do the long one? We got to do a longer-ish one. You guys were super generous tonight. You earned some Sydney Sweeney. I feel it every time. Like I forget it's even there. And